Diana, coming to you, there's a question here. This is from Sheba. She says, I'm from the United States of America and I live in Iowa. And I don't understand why everyone is trying to make this new government seem worse than the past government when they are both very much the same. What do you say to that?
They are both very much the same, but there is a fundamental difference. I'll talk about the similarities and then I'll talk about the differences. The similarities are that each and every government that we've ever seen, each and every Israeli government that we've ever seen, has always had it in its mind to continue Israel's military occupation. They've always believed in Jewish supremacy. They've always believed in building and expanding settlements. All of them have believed in demolishing Palestinian homes. All of them have believed in imprisoning Palestinians, including children. All of them have believed in maintaining a siege on the Gaza Strip. So yes, the question is correct. All of the governments are pretty much the same. Mm-hmm. There is a difference, though, which is that in the past, the governments used to hide behind all of these other measures. Like they would, for example, pretend that they were focusing on the environment, or they were both focusing on the economy, or they're focusing on rights of women, etc. This government is not. This government has made it clear since the elections have happened and since during the election period that it has one goal and only one goal, and that is to attack us as Palestinians. That's it. They've made this clear. So while all of the other governments have had other issues at the forefront and attacking Palestinians as a machinery in the back, this government only has attacking Palestinians as its main objective. And that's why this government is in many ways much more dangerous, because they're saying it openly, they're saying it clearly, and they've already begun to implement it. We've already seen that they've called for the destruction of Musafar Yatta, a place that is home to about 1,000 Palestinians. We're already seeing that by February 1st, the Israelis are going to destroy Khan al-Ahmar, which, including the United States, have called for its destruction to be halted. We've already seen that Ben-Gvir has made it that he intends to go on the Al-Aqsa compound and normalize these settlers going up there on a daily basis. We've already seen that this government has, as Omar has already mentioned, killed 17 Palestinians. Actually, it's 19 now, just in the first 3 weeks of it being in office. Now, I want to contrast and show you that 2022 was the deadliest year for Palestinians in the West Bank since 2005. 2005 was the year of an uprising. 2022 was the deadliest year. And this was a government that was a so-called centrist government. You can imagine what it's like with this new government. We are already on par to surpass that number. So while I agree that it's important that we not give a pass to previous governments, we do have to set our sights on what this government intends to do. And this government intends to make life hell for Palestinians. They've said as much, they're going to do as much. They've already gone full steam ahead when it comes to settlement construction. They're going full steam ahead when it comes to demolitions. They're going full steam ahead when it comes to ethnic cleansing. This is their only job at this point. They're not even masking it and pretending that there's other things that they're going to be working on.
Well, Diana, I'll come to you in a minute, Omar, but I wanted to follow up on that, Diana, because here we've been reading about Ben-Gvir, the new national security minister, the fact that he's been convicted of racist incitement against Arabs, and that he was also backing a group that was actually considered by the United States to be a terrorist organization. I mean, he's a particularly unattractive, dangerous figure, but there are others, aren't there? And tell me, given that people are well aware of certainly about Ben-Gvir, tell us something about some of the others that we should be watching out for.
Well, the other one that you should be watching out for is the finance minister, a man named Smotrich. Now, Smotrich is like Ben-Gvir. He's a settler. He's a person who believes in the settlement project. He's a person who is now not only finance minister, but he's in charge of, as they put it, construction in the West Bank, which means that he's in charge of the settlements. But he's also a very dangerous figure because he's the person who established an NGO called Regavim. Regavim is the organization that has been pushing before the Israeli courts to have these Palestinian towns destroyed. So it was actually Smotrich who was one of the founders of Regavim, who initially pushed for Khan al-Ahmar to be destroyed, and here he is now in charge of it. It's the equivalent of putting the fox in charge of the hen, right? So this is what he is planning on doing, and this man has also very openly described himself as, get this, a fascist homophobe. These are his words, not mine. These are his words, not mine. And yet, even though he describes himself as a fascist homophobe, we don't see that anybody is doing anything against him. So going back to the question about what it is that these individuals are about, they don't have other policies except to attack Palestinians. And now they are the ones who are in power, in government. And we see that instead of the world saying something, doing something, they've actually turned a blind eye. For a Palestinian who lives in Palestine, you can just see what the future is going to hold for us. People are worried. They are scared because we know exactly what this government what these individuals have done in the past, and we see what it is that they intend to do in the future. Going back to somebody like Ben-Gvir, Ben-Gvir is not only, he's a person who has been convicted, he's been charged 50 times, but he's also, I don't know how to put this nicely, but he's kind of a clown in many ways. But even though he's a clown, he's a dangerous clown. He is somebody who, for Purim, which is a Jewish holiday, he dressed up. It's a holiday in which you dress up as something. He decided for Purim to dress up as Baruch Goldstein. Now, Baruch Goldstein was an American Israeli settler who during Ramadan in 1994 went into the Ibrahim Mosque in Hebron and gunned down 29 Palestinians as they were praying the Fajr prayer, the dawn prayers during Ramadan. And so here we have Ben-Gvir, who not only dressed up as Baruch Goldstein, but has called him his hero. He is a disciple of Meir Kahane, who is a person who called for the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. And Ben-Gvir is somebody who very much believes it. So we're now sitting with a government of people who believe in the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians and who are going to do everything in their power to actually implement this.
Well, and this is a government that the EU, the UK, the US, have they congratulated Netanyahu on his victory and look forward to working with him, as did Ukraine, as did Russia. Omar.